Now, many people try to change themselves. I'm lacking patience, I want to become patient. I'm very good with people, I'm always smiley and charismatic, extroverted. Okay, I want to change this, I want to become more introverted. Now, Ibn al-Qayyim gives a beautiful analogy. He said, I want you to imagine that all of you are stuck in a house and you know that a wave is going to come and is going to destroy the house. Okay, there's going to be a flood coming. You're in a monsoon season in Bangladesh and you're stuck in a building. Now, he said, you have three options now. The first option is to lock yourself in the house and to try to protect yourself. And what will happen is you will drown and everybody inside the building will drown. It's the second option that a group of people will do is they will try and see if they can manipulate the water in some way. Can they change the direction of the water in some way? What can they do with this torrent, this current, this stream of water? And he said there's a third group of people who will see the river is moving like this. Can we direct the water in another direction or another land so that it can have a beneficial effect? And he said these are the smartest people. Meaning, he says, changing your fundamental qualities is very difficult. If you're extroverted, if you're introverted, if you're great with people, if you're not so good with people, if you're patient, this is very difficult. One of the best things that a person can do is understand themselves, number one. What are your unique strengths Allah gave you with? And number two, rather than sweating so much on changing who you are, try to focus and see how can I worship Allah through these qualities. For example, you have somebody who they have a heightened temper. Okay? They don't have patience, they don't have a lot of patience for people. Okay? The same person is a bit cold. They're not very warm and loving and empathetic. Okay? The same person, they have attention to detail. Okay? This person, this is the perfect person to be a bodyguard or to be a security or a watchman. These qualities, you need a little bit of healthy anger, you need great attention to detail, and you need to be ready to take somebody out if they cross the line. You can't be too patient. You need to be a little bit cold, a little bit emotionless, a little bit you need to have that strength of personality. This person is best placed, right, in the front of your house to protect you if any thieves comes at night. Similarly, for example, somebody who's very merciful, very loving, always chitter-chatter, talking to people, loves children, very extremely patient, right? If you ran over the house, they'd be sitting and still smiling, right, to a detrimental level. This person would make a very great primary school teacher, because to deal with the kids, yes, they need insane levels of patience, of love, of empathy, of playfulness. So Ibn Qayyim says, rather than forcing yourself to change your fundamental personality, he said, look for a way to worship Allah where you use your strengths. So Khalid ibn al-Walid radiallahu anhu, if we look at two polar opposite personalities, Abu Bakr and Umar. In most of the major decisions in the life of the Prophet ﷺ, Abu Bakr and Umar, they go in two completely different directions. Completely different directions. Who can give me one example of one such situation in the life of the Prophet ﷺ? Yes? After the Battle of Badr, the prisoners of war. What does Abu Bakr say? Free them. What does Umar say? Okay? Two different directions. In the treaty, the peace treaty of Hudaybiyah, what does Abu Bakr say? Abu Bakr, he says, compromise. Right? The Meccans are asking for these big demands. It's okay, give it to them. It's okay. Give it to them. There's a bigger play. What does Umar ibn Khattab say? He's furious. Well, how could you compromise on these things? This is a complete failure. They're going two completely different personality types. They're both righteous men, but they're both suited to two different types of leadership. Two different temperaments, two different personalities, two different qualities. Now, famously, one of these two men goes through a big personality change in his life. So we're going to come to this. How do you change your qualities? if you're lacking in patience, if you're low on mercy, how do you change these qualities? One of these two men went through a big personality change in their life. Who was it? It was Umar. What happened to Umar? When he was a Khalifa, what happened to his personality by then? How did it change? He became soft. He became gentle. He used to be a lot more hot-headed, a lot more ready to finish this person, get rid of this person, throw them out. He had that iqdam. He has, by nature, he's somebody who's driven, somebody who's ambitious, somebody who's desirous. And this was his life before Islam as well. It dictated his life. He was somebody who was a dominating personality. When he became the Khalifa, he changed. Now here's the question. How did he change? And therefore, how should we change? What are the factors that molded, shaped, and changed his personality? Very difficult to do so. What changed his personality? Yes. Okay. The level of responsibility he was given. So if you see somebody, for example, yes, who's always late like me, one very good way to change this person's personality trait of being late is put them in a job where they have to be on time all the time, or there's severe consequences. By force, they will over time, due to the responsibility and commitment, they will be forced to change over time, over the course of 3, 5, 7 years. So the responsibility of the Khilafah, the heavy burden of the leadership of the believers, it softened Umar, because he became fearful of Allah. If I was too harsh, what will happen to me? See, before he was in a leadership position, he was harsh. When he came in the leadership position, he said the famous statement, if a ram, a sheep in a mountain valley in Khurasan complains against me, I'm scared Allah will hold me to account. Right? So responsibility changes people. Number one. What else? What else changes people? Sorry? Life experiences. So sometimes it's very important to put yourself, volunteer for life experiences that will mold you and shape you. By the way, Masjid al-Furqan needs volunteers. Marketing team, the media team, Eid in the Park. What else, Sheikh? Every team Masjid al-Furqan needs volunteers, right? So if you feel like you're lacking patience, join Eid in the Park team. I'm not joking. When there's 20,000 people running around and you're having to manage the mess, you will become a very patient person. 2 Eids, done. You can retire. But seriously, volunteering for responsibility, taking a responsibility, is very crucial in shaping your character. What's the problem with many young men and women today? They're scared of commitment. They don't want to commit to Eid in the Park, big commitment. Oh my gosh. No, I'll attend 1 or 2 meetings and then I'll flake, I'll disappear. This is one of the greatest and the worst traits of our generation. The worst traits of our generation is we cannot stick with anything for more than 4 weeks, 4 minutes. We cannot be consistently contributing to anything. The whole deen was built on the back of volunteers. Badr, 313 men, all volunteers. Commitment. Now it's like, well, am I going to be paid? Am I not going to be paid? What's in it for me? Habib, what's in for you is Jannatun Na'im. You have to put yourself in uncomfortable situations and voluntarily put yourself, take responsibility on. And this will put you in a situation, one of the most crucial things about British culture is the love of routine. In comparison to any other culture in the world, American, East Asian, South European, the British culture is a culture that loves routine. If every day at 2 p.m. Uncle Tom has his tea, if 2:05 he has his tea, his whole day is messed up now. There's a love of routine, a love of the repetition of the ordinary. And this is something that as Muslims we have to realize. Yes, routine and order and all this is great. You will never change until you put yourself outside your comfort zone. You have to take responsibility for something. That will change you. It will not happen sat on the couch, having the same day. If every day of the week is the same as the previous day, you will never change. If you do what you always did, you will get what you always got. Okay, so we said responsibility. Taking responsibilities, volunteering for responsibilities, number 1. Number 2, knowledge and awareness. If you sit down, you evaluate yourself. I have an anger problem. I have an anger problem. Go and find out all the ahadith and ayat related to anger and its harms and its punishment and its consequences. If you, for example, evaluate yourself, For example, me, I'm a very lazy person. Go and read all the ahadith related to laziness and its consequences. You need to know what will be held against you on the Day of Judgment if you continue this way. This is a impetus for change. One of the beautiful things that was suggested by Sheikh Muhammad al-Hassan Walda Dedu, the Mauritanian scholar. He said, if you are struggling with some particular quality, whether it's anger or patience or sincerity, whatever it may be, he said, write all the ayat and ahadith about this on a paper and put it in your pocket. And after every salah, take it out and read it. Let's say you're somebody who talks too much like me. Write down all the ayat and ahadith related to the tongue. Put it in your pocket. After every salah, take it out. Remind yourself, I need to work on this. If I don't change this, I'm in trouble. So responsibility, awareness and knowledge. But most importantly, what changes people and what molds people's qualities? Not dua. The most crucial factor that changed all of the Prophet's companions is one thing. Tests, not tests. If I say not the Quran, I'm in trouble. The Quran in its more specific, it is suhbah, companionship. You see, the companions, they didn't just hear the Quran. They were companions of the walking Quran. A person is usually the average of the 5 people who they spend most of their time with. If you spend time with people who are patient, who are trustworthy, who are ambitious, etc., etc., you will become like them. Constant exposure to those people will change you over a long period of time. Consistent exposure, it doesn't happen overnight. So, responsibility, awareness, consistent exposure to people, friendships and relationships, teachers and mentors. This is probably one of the most crucial ways to change a person, is having the right teachers and the right mentors to advise them. You need somebody who loves you so much, they will be ruthlessly honest with you. They will be savage with you. You are a shameless person, Habibi. You keep telling lies in every gathering. I heard you backbite 4 times in the last 2 weeks. You have to change this. You need somebody who can talk to you like this and say, listen, you must change this. You need somebody who knows you better than yourself. Last but not least, like they said, life experiences. Marriage, children, the tests and trials of life, this shapes a person. Who you marry will be a huge shaping force for you. The nature and the personality and the vision and the mission of who you marry will be a huge shape, because this person, you are doing companionship of them so many hours of a day. Your children will shape you. How? Your children will expose to you who you really are. One of the most scary things about being a parent is when you see your children do the bad things that you do. When you see your children expressing their temper, or when you see your child doing something wrong, or speaking to someone in a wrong way, and you know you are the one who does this and that's why they're copying. When you see the mirror in front of you, it's scary. And this is why one of the great things that will accelerate your personal development, the development of your character, is becoming a parent and taking on responsibility. Now,